Bam. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for pulling up. I know I pushed this back multiple times, but I'm here now. So I appreciate everybody for pulling up. If you catch this on the replay, hit the like button when you come in. We are going to go over several things today. We're going to go over several things today. So while you're on, just come on in. I may drop the link. Listen, this is how I get down, okay? Let me make sure. I don't argue. I'm not here for arguing. I'm not here for debating. I'm not here for any of that. Now, my platform is open for anybody because I believe in freedom of speech, okay? Freedom of speech. Your amendment rights that was given to you when you were born in America, okay? Speak. Say whatever you want to say, okay? Say whatever you want to say, all right? So, without further ado, let's get into this. This is debunking a bunch of lies. Now, people, like I said last time in my thing, that Charlie Kirk, a lot of people will take Charlie Kirk's words out of context. Then they would put him and frame him how they want to make him seem as if he was racist. Now, do I know Charlie Kirk? No. Do I know if he was racist? No. But I know the specific things that he said. They were taken out of context to make it look better or make it look worse, make it seem worse. I know that for a fact because I went and did my own research, which I suggest you do too. Let's get into it. First, actually, no, we're gonna do this. Let me get my screen out here. Let's go.
To say and how he operated and moved through this realm. Regardless, in this video, I'm going to be recapping all the things that are currently being said and discussed about Charlie Kirk, starting off with gun rights.
You will never.
Shout out to Amir Odom. He is the original owner of the video that we're listening to right here. If y'all not subscribed, he got 729,000 subscribers. He moving. His video got 1.7 million, and it's in 2 weeks. So shout out to him. Let's go.
Never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational.
And this is important because it's a clip that's kind of like a gotcha. Well, Charlie called for this. He asked for this. No, he did not. There's a strong difference between advocating for gun rights because you can protect yourself, but your personal safety, and also from a tyrannical government, versus the right for mentally ill people to commit political assassinations.
Now, that's why the right to bear arms was put in as one of our rights to overthrow the government in case they came and tried to do any wild type shit. That's the reason why we have those rights. But I am a firm believer of if everybody was allowed to carry, how do I put this? If everybody was allowed to carry, imagine you going into a restaurant and you're a criminal and you're about to go rob a restaurant, right? But in the back of your mind, you thinking like, damn, the waiter's strapped. The chef probably strapped. The busboy's strapped. The family over here strapped. Like, that's how it is in Texas. In Texas, you really gotta think wisely about doing any stupid shit. Now, yes, it still pop off, but in Texas, everybody's trapped. Everybody's trapped.
There's a major difference, and obviously there's some context that goes into that. He's not advocating for political assassins to take place. He's not advocating for crazy people to just go out there and be shooting people willy-nilly. No, he's acknowledging the fact that some shootings will happen, but we also can acknowledge that this assassination of Charlie Kirk is bigger than just a random shooting. That's not what this is. This is a planned and targeted attack.
Facts, which we're gonna get into a little later, because Range Day Bro has dropped more information. Now Candace Owens is saying that Tyler Robinson has never even visited the campus of Utah State or whatever that college is. Like, this shit is getting crazy, y'all. People are saying that his lapel exploded. all type of stuff, y'all. So we about to dive all the way into this shit. I got like an hour and a half, maybe two. I don't know because the games are on the night. But I just wanted to, I kept pushing it back, because something will come up, and now I got a couple hours. So let's go, y'all. I'm here.
That's what that was. It was an attempt to silence this extremely growing faction of people that are going against mainstream media, speaking up for the truth and being loud about it. A movement that Charlie has been behind and is highly, highly responsible for. And all this did, honestly, was push forward his beliefs even more. Yes, unfortunately, bad people get a hold of guns and they do something horrible, but I'm not looking at that clip of Charlie Kirk and think, well, he clearly asked for it because, you know, he's fine with citizens having guns. No, that's just not how that works. Empathy. Now, there's also a clip that's going around of Charlie Kirk talking about his opinions on the word empathy, and let's just hear what he has to say.
The new communication strategy is not to do what Bill Clinton used to do, where he would say, I feel your pain.
Whoa.
Instead, it is to say, you're actually not in pain. So let's just very short clip. Bill Clinton in the 1990s, it was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but it is very effective when it comes to politics. Sympathy I prefer more than empathy. That's a separate topic for a different time.
Important. At the end, he says, sympathy is what I prefer more than the word empathy, because he feels like empathy is a word that's being taken advantage of. And it is. It is an overblown word. It is a word that has been, if we're going to explain that quote and what he was referring to and talking about, this idea that's been growing that we have to be empathetic of everybody. And there comes a point where our empathy clouds our judgment. There comes a point where you're so empathetic. Instead of just having sympathy for somebody, you're so like, I feel your pain and I don't want you to have pain. Here, just take anything, where that ruins society. You know, something that I often think.
Yeah, because that made our children soft. That made our children soft. You can't even imagine the coaches can't even bark and yell at children anymore when you're playing sports. When I grew up, our coaches would be, they would bark on us. You can't even do that now. The coaches have to refrain from yelling and screaming, and you got to understand and be empathetic and like it made America soft.
Think about is this growing hatred, like infighting within the LGBTQ community. And I'm not kidding you guys. There's growing faction of trans men who hate gay men because trans men are saying trans men are men. The only reason I'm gay, I'm sorry, all due respect to females out there. The only reason I'm gay is because I don't like women, like biological women. I don't like biological women. Trans men are biological women. Obviously,
you know, brother breaking it down. The brother breaking it down real. He breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? And we. This is another thing we got to do. We got to learn to agree to disagree. It's like, okay, I disagree with that. Okay, but that don't mean I hate you. That don't mean I'm not arguing with you. I'm not trying to. I just agree to disagree, and let's just move amicably. Everybody thinks disagreeing is the end all be all. If you disagree, you're racist. You're racist. Oh God, you're racist. And if it's a black dude that is in support of Charlie Kirk, you're a coon. You're cooning. Oh.
That's not going to work out. So you have some gay people like, you need to be empathetic towards these trans people and recognize them as a man that they are. We're different. And then people are like, well, that hurts their feelings. You're being transphobic. You're being a bigot. And what, like, it's being overused. It's being overused. Oh, well, we have to be empathetic towards Leah Thomas changing in the restroom and identifying as a female. Leah Thomas is walking into this women's locker room, slanging the elephant trunk all around, making all the women, biological women, feel uncomfortable. But people are using the term, oh, you have to be empathetic towards Leah. Leah identifies as a female. She's a female. That word is being used in a negative manner. That's what all that was talking about. He appreciates and values the word sympathy. So people are taking this quote out of context and say, well, I don't have empathy for Charlie because Charlie doesn't like empathy. Look deeper. Stop listening to friend groups. Stop listening to tweets. Stop listening to TikToks. Like literally.
Mind you, this is a black man that is part of the LGBTQ that is in support of Charlie and is breaking all this down. The total opposite of what people are saying Charlie's supporters are. This is the total opposite of what you guys are saying. Everybody that supports him looks like, sounds like, and all that. So, I mean,
really just think deeper about these things, you guys. Think deeper, think critical, and the truth will be revealed. Gay people.
I'm a gay conservative, and I just want to ask you, what do you have to say for people like me who kind of feel like, I guess, it's kind of hard for gay conservatives because there's not a lot of us. So, like, what do you have to say to other gay people who need to realize, like, they do have a choice?
Yeah, first of all, welcome to the conservative movement. I don't think you should introduce yourself just based on your sexual attractions.
No, I agree. I like
because that's not who you are.
I like to be thought of as a person, and
for sure, you are a complete human being, and I'm sure you treat people well, and you're studying something. So I want to get away with this idea that you're gay anything. I just think that we have gone a long way in the negative direction in this country, where we act as if the most important part of your identity
is who you fashion,
what you do in the bedroom.
God damn it, Street Queen. What's going on, Street Queen? Oh my God. That was a bar right there. That was a bar right there. Like, I don't give a fuck who you fucking. I'm sorry, I don't. I am a gay far right. I don't care, bro. Nobody cares. That's a bar right there. I like that.
Doesn't mean that much to me, but if you ask from a perspective as a Christian, I don't agree with that lifestyle. But politics is about addition and multiplication. I imagine you agree with a lot of what we talk about.
Absolutely.
Right? Strong borders, strong country, and for that, we welcome you into the conservative movement.
Have you ever wanted to see your home?
I like that. I like that bar right there. We got to stop people,
That's who they call homophobic. Oh, well, he said he doesn't agree with that lifestyle and he doesn't like gay marriage. That's fine. You don't have to think 100% with me on board. And just because you don't like what gay people do doesn't mean I'm going to write you off as a bigot, homophobic person. And then like, boom, just not going to talk to you for the rest of my life. No, that big of a deal. Trans people.
I just want to say I'm a transgender male. What age should kids be able to get things like hormone therapy? Because I don't know what's true, what's not.
Tell me, are you comfortable telling me your story?
I've known that since like third grade, and I'm currently 19, almost 20. I've known basically since then. I didn't start going by like a different name until 7th and 8th grade. I just don't know, like, with the whole medical stuff, like what's true, what's not.
I'm gonna let this person finish, but Charlie gets called a transphobic bigot. The crowds get called transphobic bigots. There's a trans person that went through that crowd, is asking a question. No one's heckling them. No one's harassing them. No one's beating them. Charlie's sitting there being super respectful, hearing them out. That's all he ever did, was hear people out. Like he wasn't this radical person that was very.
Shout out to Anton Daniels. I watch him a lot. And he said Charlie mastered the art of, well, I don't know if he used the word mastered, but I'm just paraphrasing. The science of debating civilly is what Charlie was good at. So much now, people, when you want to get into a debate, it's screaming and just like a debate is just words, agree, disagree. Let's move on to the next subject. Like, and especially on YouTube, like these panels and shit people have, it's hard to have a debate with anybody because the moment you say something that the next person doesn't agree with, it's off with your head. Like they ganging up everybody. Let's go. We going at react. We going at this person. We going at that person. Like, bro, all I said is I don't agree with that.
Mean and rude on campuses. No, he could get stern with people. He was matching energy, that's for sure. He matched energy. But this is who we're talking about as someone super transphobic.
It's helpful because I've heard so many different opinions.
First of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to have an opinion that very few people will ever tell you, which is I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system in the pursuit of changing your body. I instead encourage you to work on what's going on in your brain first. I think what you need first and foremost is just a diagnosis, just someone that is going to listen to what you've gone through, listen to what else is going on. My prayer for you, this, and again, very few people will say this, I actually want to see you be comfortable in how you were born.
Yeah.
I know that you might not feel that way, but I think that is something that you can achieve. I think that with the right team and the right people, you don't have to wage war on your body. You can learn to love your body.
That's the people. That's who someone that people are calling transphobic bigot. Someone like that in an interaction like that. Respectful, calm, telling a person how they feel. Racism.
You are here in the wealthiest country ever, at an amazing university with all the opportunity imaginable in front of you. And all you want to do is look backwards at everything that prevented you when you are a glaring example that there is no systemic racism and you can actually achieve your wildest dreams.
Whoa, I never said that. Hey, I'm not the only black person who exists out there. There's so many people who this culture is affecting to this day.
Do you know black Americans are the richest black people on earth?
What statistic
Africa.
is that? Okay, I need you to pull that up like right now.
You can. Black Americans per capita on average.
Can you pull that up?
I mean, I'm hosting an event right now. I don't know what to tell you, but anyone can fact check me on this. So you cannot find a black majority country or any country where black people have significant representation where they are as wealthy, because even the poorest people in America are in the top 5%, the top 2% of wealth around the world. And so my whole belief is stop acting like you're a victim and start making better choices.
That's not racism. I am my ancestors' dream.
It's not. It's not. It's not. My grandfather says it. My grandfather says it. See, when you hear that coming from a white person, you get all befuddled. You get all in your feelings. You get in your feelings, but you hear it from a black person or a Spanish person, and you like, yeah, you know what? You right, yo. You right. We should, yeah, you right, yo. Be good. I say it all the time. I am not a victim. Can nobody stop me? Nobody. Yeah, facts. Nobody. Not white, not black, not Spanish, not the nigga. I am the sole driver of this body and my destiny. I don't when I go after something, I don't be like, oh my God, I wonder if they're gonna shoot me down because I'm black. Oh, I wonder if I go in and I own shit. Simple as that. And that's the mindset you need to have. Fuck all this that shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. But angry and broke. Knee slap was cracking.
I'm in the deep South, Tennessee. I don't know, 40, 60 feet. Probably above tons of my ancestors that were slaves hundreds of years ago. Living their dream right now.
Facts.
I am my grandfather's dream, who could not speak openly like this.
Probably. Go ahead.
Who actually dealt with the Jim Crow laws, who actually dealt with the real racism. I'm afforded every opportunity any white person is in this country right now. Are there economical differences? For sure. Are there some systemic things that we can get into? For sure. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have it better than every other generation of black people that have come before me in this nation. I have it better. We all have it better. We genuinely do. I don't understand how people can sit here and call Charlie Kirk a racist when even back in 2018, 1920, hosted events like the Young Black Leadership Summit, where he would take 200 to 300 young black people all across the United States, invite them to DC, invite them to meet the president, invite them to the White House, invite them on this journey in this conference to learn more about the black history in this nation from other black people, to hear about stories that aren't taught in schools, to see a different side of our past as victors and not victims. You know, being not a racist man. Affirmative action.
If you see a black person in a position, or minority or whatever, the assumption is that that person is not qualified. When literally, and you have to be qualified in order to even to get in that position.
Well, so let's take college admissions. So this is a great example. At Harvard, we learned because of new revealed documents that black students were having test scores that were 30 to 35% lower than their white counterparts.
Okay.
And so therefore, if you saw a black kid at Harvard, it's a fact that they were not having the same test standards as their white counterparts.
Still doesn't matter. The kid has to get through, he's got to get through the classes, do the tests, do all the research.
Well, they actually drop out at a greater rate too. But the point being is just the idea that they were there, number one, took a spot from an otherwise qualified individual that might be white. And they were not there on the same merits. So what we want is the same rules for everybody.
You're making the assumption that they're not qualified in order to get in. In order to even get there,
it's not the assumption.
Considered.
It's the data. So for example, it's literally at Harvard, you had kids with perfect SAT scores, perfect ACT scores that were white.
So that makes a degree from Harvard worthless then.
Well, you're exactly right. Yeah, actually, Harvard's degree is becoming more worthless because it's more race-based than merit-based. You're exactly right.
Affirmative action in a nutshell. Oh, well, Charlie Kirk was against affirmative action. That means he's racist. Oh, there's tons of black people against affirmative action as well. I don't need you to lower my test scores because that's even more racist.
That shit is crazy to me. Do you see how that sounds? Like, all right, black folks, guess what we gonna do for y'all? We gonna make it so you can enter here with your grades lower because we think you're fucking retarded. And like that. Do you not see how? Oh my God! Do you not see how crazy that is? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Every time I get on this, wifey goes crazy. Okay, there we go. All right, but yeah, I think that's crazy also too. Now speaking to my grandfather, because my grandfather was the OG of the family, the OG of everything, the OG, because he lived through some shit. And I'm talking about lived through some shit. Okay? The 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Like he lived through some shit. And he would say, I don't want nobody giving me no damn handouts. I don't want nobody giving me no damn handouts. Black people live better before affirmative action, before, and I'm only hearing from what they told me. Before integration, black people owned shit, had hospitals, banks, all type of shit. And they begged for inclusion. Some people begged for inclusion, and then all that shit went away. Just saying. I'm just saying, y'all. Don't kill the messenger. Don't kill the messenger.
I don't need you to lower my test scores to give me a chance to get into college. Don't you want to feel like you earned your spot? Don't you want to feel like you worked hard for something? Why would you want to get a handout? Why would you want to just be given, hey, you black, we're going to enter into Harvard because you got a D. Even though these white people are getting A's, I know you're not capable of getting an A, and we need more blacks at our college. So we're just going to go ahead and accept you in, even though you have D's.
Ooh, that shit sound nasty.
Do you not find that disrespectful? Do you?
Because I'm prideful as fuck. I'm super prideful. That shit sound wicked to me. Like, I'm just very, I don't know. I'm not. That shit sound weird to me. It sounds. I'm prideful. My ego. Like word. So I'm only in because I want to nah. See, I don't know. Maybe I'm different. Maybe.
If you're a black person watching this and you're studying super hard and you get into Harvard, don't you want to feel like you got into Harvard because of all the work you've been putting in and not just the color of your skin? That's why a lot of people are against affirmative action. They don't want these handouts. They don't like that this is the thing. You're making the assumption, no, it's actually real stuff that has been.
Real stuff is when you study for the cop exam, the firefighter's exam. The firefighter exam I did. And if you was black, you started out for 25 points. You started out with 25 points. While Juan next to you, and Charles started out at 0. So you had a 20, and the shit is weird. Now, when I was 21, 22, I really couldn't grasp it. I couldn't put my mind around it. I'm like, oh, well, okay, cool, you're getting a head start and all. But now, as my older self, I'm like, that shit is weird. Weird. It's very weird. It's very not weird. It's just like it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Going on. Real stuff, you guys. That is okay to call out. It is. So before people go shout from the rooftops, oh my gosh, this is horrible, this is racist. It's not. It's actually racist in reverse. I think some of these affirmative action things being put in place is actually racist to it.
We got one more of these clips, and then we're gonna get into Range Day Bro.
Illegal immigration.
Range Day Bro's video, which is dope, and then we'll go from there.
I don't like your t-shirt.
What the? All right, okay, bro. I know you gotta eat, bro. Back to back, though, bro.
I'm an immigrant. I don't understand why you would want to deport some of my friends and family who have been working hard in this country.
What's your name? Sorry.
I'm Claudio, sir.
Yeah, Claudio. And this is just a thought exercise, but it's very revealing. You are king, and you find out that there are 30 million uninvited people in your country. What do you do with them?
I try to find the most humane way of sending them back to our country. But first of all, I want to say
that's what we're doing.
Wait,
that's what we're doing. So what country did you emigrate from?
Are you going to like discriminate against me?
No, I'm going to do the opposite, actually.
I'm Mexican.
But you came here legally, correct?
I did.
You followed the rules. The people that you know didn't follow the rules.
True.
So I divide America not into Hispanic and white, into rule follower and rule breaker.
Yeah.
And so when someone breaks our rules, there must be justice done. And the most humane way is you go back to your country of origin.
Some of my boys, like, they're being like persecuted, like back home, them and their families, like they're like in like drug related, like wars and violence. And the only way out is if they escape and they break the American law. But that's the only way they're going to survive.
If that is correct, we have a special asylum status that they could seek legally at a port of entry, that they could go through a whole process.
Yeah, but if they're being persecuted, wouldn't it be justified to cut the line?
No. If we all of a sudden say that if you have a lot of gang violence and issues, I mean, like we have a lot of gang violence and issues. Like, what are we talking about here?
True.
You have to draw the line. If your plane is going down, what do they tell you to do first? You put your mask on first. It's the same way as a country. We need to put our own oxygen mask on first, and then we can worry about helping other people.
That's it. It's that simple. It's nothing.
America first. America first. I always said this. I don't care. Bro. Like, no, and I mean no disrespect to anybody that's watching this now or in the future. But America first. I don't give a damn about. I don't. America first. We got to figure out what the fuck going on here first. We got to tidy up here first. Hey, man, listen, man, listen.
It's related. It's literally rule breakers and rule followers. We're talking about a man who threw Latino retreats, you guys. We're talking about someone that promoted so many different races and ethnicities, including Hispanics. Again, like the guy brought up, he said, okay, well, isn't it justified for them to cut the line? It's not. Abortion.
Everybody, do me a favor. Please be respectful, okay?
Before we even get in, everybody be respectful. So we see what this person looks like, and you would think, oh, they're going to get, beat by MAGA people and so judged and harassed. And no, it actually turns out to be a very productive and nice, calming debate. Not even debate, just conversation. But this is who they got rid of. The man that starts off a college debate. Everyone be respectful.
Hello. So I have a few leading questions before my main one. Because I have to be honest, I don't really know that much about you. So would you say that you're very...
I love this interaction so much because I applaud this woman that instead of going to her friend groups, she went to Charlie. She saw this event, stood in line at that event, and waited to ask a question because she wanted to go right to the source. Amazing.
Very religious.
I am religious. However, every one of my political positions is defensible from a non-religious perspective.
Okay, great. So I was under the impression that your beliefs on abortion were stemming from your religious beliefs.
Well, at the core, that is correct, but I can get that it is defensible from using reason and prudence, as I have done the last couple of
Cool. So you're not trying to illegalize abortion based on the Bible.
Well, no, not based on the Bible. My personal conviction comes from the Bible. I want to make abortion illegal because it is the only applicable extension of laws we already and standards we already have in the West. Correct.
I'm sorry, can you maybe rephrase that?
Eliminating abortion is the only logical step while we apply the standard we already have in this country to unborn life. So we have murder laws.
Yes.
Therefore, murder laws should apply to unborn life as it does to born life.
Okay. So again, reiterating, you're not trying to instate laws based on Christian beliefs because that would be unconstitutional, right?
Well, not again, sort of, but no, I am not using scripture to defend my beliefs. However, my personal convictions start with scripture, but the political views that we're talking about here are all defensible using reason and Western tradition.
2 points to this, because abortion argument isn't always about religion or God. But
Which I don't get into either one of them. All right, next. Now we got the new update video from Range Day, bro. When I listen to ballistics and whatnot, I want to hear from somebody who shoots guns and knows the ballistics and knows like what bullets do to flesh and what knows how fast the bullet goes and what it, I want to hear from that person. And this is Range Day, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, here we are today in the court of public opinion, battling out a narrative, what they want you to believe versus what your eyes are telling you to believe. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are continuing to talk about the bizarreness around the Charlie Kirk assassination because things just keep getting weirder. And everybody who wants us to just shut up about it or turn the other way and accept the narrative that's been put out is going to have a bad day after watching this video. Starting with the news of there being no autopsy performed, we have to first play this for you guys so you can hear it for yourselves.
They emailed me back. He did not go in for an autopsy. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
Sus.
Oh, okay. Can you just do a field clip documenting that? I'm sorry, 10-9? Can you just add a step to the case documenting that there was no autopsy?
Jesse just told me that he just got on the phone and Charlie's wife is coming to signature and they're bringing a car over here for her right now.
Charlie's wife is coming to land at signature, you said?
Sir, and Jesse's going to go to Dunkin' right now and pick up a car for her.
So there you have it, everybody. They just admitted that Charlie Kirk never had an autopsy performed, which is actually required by law. So big shout out to Valhalla VFT. He did a video on this yesterday and he was talking about this. It's actually required by Utah law to perform an autopsy for any number of circumstances, of which Charlie qualified for 3. It is required by Utah law. It's against the law to not perform an autopsy. So will anybody be held accountable for this? I highly doubt that. But so you have the news of them not performing the autopsy, which was required by law. But now you have Candace Owens also coming out with new information stating that Tyler Robinson has never even visited the UVU campus. And she is teasing that and saying she will release more information on Monday. So we can't verify that.
Hey, yo, shout out to Candace Owens. I love you. I love you. Yo, she is a bulldog. She is non-stop. Candace Owens is non-stop. When she's on somebody's scent, it's over.
But I think that's very peculiar. She's been on a warpath to absolutely find out what's happened to Charlie Kirk. So whether you believe her or not, I do believe her passion and her intentions are in the right place. But all of the other things aside, let's go back to the actual ballistic analysis of the way that Charlie Kirk was taken out. But we're going to talk about some other theories. One of the biggest and most popular ones that's exploded recently is that the microphone was ambushed and was actually an explosive device. So here I have the DJI Go Mic 2, I believe it is. These are probably very similar to the one that Charlie Kirk was wearing. I believe he might have been wearing the Rode microphone, so they're approximately the same in size and weight. So this microphone simply uses this magnet over here to attach to the back side of it so you can keep it out of sight. And as you can see, this one is folding over from the weight, and this is exactly kind of how Charlie's looked on his shirt. And what is being alleged is that Charlie's microphone was booby-trapped, much like the pagers were in Lebanon with Hezbollah. And this guy's claiming that Mossad actually booby-trapped his microphone. I think this is highly unlikely for the reasons that we'll talk about here in a second, but let me show you what this guy's alleging first.
Tyler Robinson didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's Israeli security detail killed Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's assassin is caught on tape. Blake Bednar has brought us this video. We'll break it down. Take a look at this. Here it is from the wide angle. Watch Charlie Kirk's right side of his t-shirt. Watch the lavalier lapel mic. Do you see it explode? Let's bring it in just a little bit closer. Watch this. Put it in the freeze frame. That is the explosion from Charlie Kirk's lavalier lapel mic. Want to see it again? Bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is.
We can agree on that. I believe that is an exit wound, but let's let him continue.
Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath.
All right, we're going to pause it right there. So the issue with this theory, it is absolutely impossible for something to shoot out or for that lavalier mic to explode without this mic, without this magnet coming off, okay? I am by no means trying to discredit every theory that I hear just to prove my own theory, but every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're going to shoot a projectile out of this system right here, right? If this is going to shoot a ball out of the front of this microphone into my neck, it's going to push against the shirt this way. It's not going to go straight into my chest, and it's sure as hell not going to be held on. So I'm going to show you guys with 2 fingers real quick how easy it is to pull this magnet off of this mic through my shirt. If I pull it straight on, a little bit more difficult, obviously, but if I pull it from the side, I mean, I barely pulled that thing. If you're going to project something out of this that is strong enough to go into his neck and come out of the other side, it would certainly have knocked off that magnet from his shirt, and this would have gone the other direction, because you can't push something in this direction without getting pushed back or having something behind this to support it from going back, which there's no way it doesn't go backwards when the projectile comes out, okay? Secondly, if you're going to call it an explosion, if you're trying to convince people that this exploded in his shirt and some shrapnel is what came out of Charlie's neck, the same exact things to be true, right? This magnet is going to go shooting off in this other direction, because this is going to explode in all directions. Incendiary device, he's calling it, right? It's going to explode in all directions. And this magnet is going to come flying out off of his shirt, because there's a solid force on this side, which is Charlie's body pushing against that explosive force, and that magnet's going to go rocketing. So the problem with this theory is the magnet doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it's not hard, right? It's not hard for this thing to pop off. It's a strong magnet, but it's not strong enough to withstand, and the shirt doesn't jerk in that motion in the way that it would if something was being projected out, right? Because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So I think it is very easy to rule out the lavalier mic being rigged and exploding, and that leading to Charlie being hit. So that brings me to this camera angle here that was recently put out, and this is a very high quality camera angle. I believe this is from the university's own cameras, and you can tell it's a very high quality picture that we're seeing here. So I want to play this for you guys and see the exact moment that's being alleged. So we're going to pause this video right here, and we're going to talk about the reason why that new angle and discovering that that was actually his necklace that flew off actually changes nothing for me, because although it's not the blood splatter that I thought was the smoking gun in that situation, everything else that I discussed in that video still holds water over every other theory that's out there. First and foremost, you see Charlie get struck before the exit wound emerges in his neck. Secondly, his head accelerates down into the left, leaving his hair behind for a second to catch up, which you can see very clearly on camera. And you can also see in one frame of the video where the projectile was literally piercing his skin or had just passed through his skin. And then afterwards, you can see a projectile traveling between his knees. That on top of the extreme hemorrhaging that we saw, which is indicative of exit wounds. That on top of the way that Charlie had tensed up when he got struck in his brainstem. And then finally, for everybody who's trying to explain the chain breaking and flying up around his head as the bullet somehow striking the chain and it ricocheting off the chain, and that's why the exit wound was larger than a normal exit wound is. That is absolute garbage in my opinion, and most likely what we're seeing and why that chain actually snaps is because we could see right here in this frame the temporary wound cavity when a bullet strikes a medium, a fluid medium like the human body, is absolutely catastrophic. I'm going to show you guys this ballistic gel test here, and I have it paused on this frame for a very specific reason, okay? I want you to remember how big this area is and how much this gel had expanded to this point, okay? We're gonna rewind it here. So boom, bullet is fired, it hits the gel, it creates this temporary wound cavity, and it stretches approximately 10 inches. If you're using this ruler down here for reference, that's at least 10 inches, if not greater, in size. So Charlie's neck would have expanded from this temporary wound cavity at an extremely fast rate, about 10 inches or greater potentially, causing his neck to swell up, breaking his chain, and then causing that huge plume that you saw in every single direction around his shirt, right? People are trying to say the back went up first and the front went up because the cross went up. It all happened at once, and you could see it in this video right here. You could see it in this freeze frame of this video. All the way around his shirt is puffing up. So the entire collar area of Charlie's shirt is puffed out. Looks like he's one of those linebackers of the NFL wearing a neck roll, right? But the neck roll goes all the way around. You can see it. Every single spot on his shirt is puffed up all at once because of that temporary wound cavity that's expanding his neck, his literal flesh in his neck by that 10 to 12 inches for just a split second. But that's enough to pop that shirt up and break that necklace. And then you see his shirt kind of linger up in the front because the necklace is still going up. And in the back, the necklace escapes and goes around the back of his head and goes off the back. So that is 100% the most logical. Like if you're just using common sense and you're just looking at it, especially when I show you guys this footage right here from a standard 223 FMJ bullet. This is not a specialty bullet. This is the most basic milsurp like practice ammo that you can use. And this is what it's doing to ballistic gelatin. So to me, this explains 100% the reason that Charlie's shirt flipped up in the back and in the front. It just appeared because these camera frame rates are too slow to capture it happening all at once. This camera angle, in fact, did, and you could see it clear as day. To me, it's clear as day. Here is a closer look. We'll pause it right here. We're not going to show anything graphic at all. There you go. You see it puffed up all the way around his collar. Every single location of his shirt is puffed up because if a bullet enters back here near the bottom of his hairline is where's my guess, hitting his brainstem and then coming out the front of his neck, that neck expands. You can see it. He looks like he's freaking like you got a tree trunk for a neck right there. Because that's what's happening to his flesh is expanding from that wound cavity. You can see all the way around. Every bit of his shirt has expanded. At this point, his chain probably snaps. And what you see in the front, again, it's lingering because the chain has more mass than his body's already retracted. So what happens is that temporary wound cavity is just that. It's temporary. So if I play this full speed, you can see, watch right here. Watch this gel. That temporary wound cavity happens so fast, you barely see it at all. And that's why it's been so hard for people to figure out what's causing his shirt to flip up. It's very clear to me it is that temporary wound cavity. Here it is slowed down by ballistic high speed. Shout out to these guys. So here you can see it slowed down. Again, in real time, you don't see that temporary wound cavity, how big it gets, how much it would balloon out somebody's neck, for instance. But when you slow it down to 5,000 frames per second, you can see every bit of that. So that's why everybody's over here trying to explain why does the shirt puff up in the back, then it puffs up in the front. Nobody can figure this out. This is so obvious to me. Just use your eyes. There's still going to be so many of the non-player characters and the bots out there claiming that I'm going so far and stretching so far. Believe your own eyes. Believe what you are seeing with your own eyes, people. Look at this temporary wound cavity. Look how big that is. That's 50,000 frames per second, okay? It gets absolutely huge. And then you see that little explosion of the unburnt powder happens afterwards. This is proof, guys. What other proof?
Yeah. This right here is the best explanation I have heard, period. And it's from a ballistics dude. Yeah, Brian. This is it. This is I have to believe my own eyes. Believe a person, a dude who that's all they do is shoot. And the ballistics gel, like, this is a perfect explanation for me. Perfect.
You need that Charlie Kirk was shot in the back of his head. I don't know what else I could do. Now, where is he shot from? Is it the Bushman? Is it from one of those little vent areas above those windows? There is a door over there. I don't believe it happened from the door, but I believe that it happened from somewhere in the back right. I don't know where exactly, and I'm calling on every single one of you guys to help me figure out where exactly the shot came from. I am more than willing to take information from you guys. If you guys have any information, head to rangedaybro.com and fill out the contact page over there. My email is rangedaybro@gmail.com, so you can send stuff over there as well as Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Rumble, X, all that stuff, guys. I am trying to chase down the truth on this, and I need your help. I'm one man here as a team, so all this research I've done has been taking a lot of time away from my family, but I'm absolutely determined to figure out what actually happened to Charlie Kirk as far as just the ballistics go, because there's so much other strange shit with Snake Eyes and with Erica. I mean, you literally could get your doctorate degree in this fumbled attempt by the FBI at this point. I mean, it really is absolutely sowing so much division in our country. People are questioning everything in reality. And if nothing else comes of this, if we never actually know the truth, because unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever know the whole truth of what happened that day to Charlie Kirk, we may not know who actually Charlie Kirk,
right,
but we will definitely know why, because look at what is playing out in reality. Look at the response. Look at who is weaponizing this, who is using this to turn you against your neighbor, but do not turn this into a left versus right. We are Americans. We must stay united. We must take care of each other, look out for each other. We're all we have. It really is the middle class, the normal people of this country versus the most powerful people in the world. Look at what is happening in our country, okay? I pray to God every day that it gets better, but I always pray for peace and prepare for war. That is not Fed posting, guys. Peace always first, peace and love. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Until next time, Christ is King. Stay safe, stay dangerous. Range Day Bro, out. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's why I fuck with him. Because there's a lot of people trying to put the left against the right and the right against the left and black against white and the white against the black and the listen. Fuck all that. Dave K says, this is one of the dumbest takes yet. Good job wasting time, my guy. I practice freedom of speech here, but I'm going to go out and say that I'm going to take his word for it instead of your word for it, Dave K, because he has ballistics gel and he shoots guns and he knows a lot more about guns and ballistics and all that other shit than I do. But him putting the words together, showing the diagram and then showing exactly what happened. I mean, come on, man. You got to use your own eyes, man. But some people just don't want to, use your own eyes. That's what it is, man. Hit the like button on your way out, man. Have a great Monday. I got to get something to eat, man. I was going to go a little longer, but hey, it is what it is, y'all. Hit the like button on the way out. And damn, I used to do like 2-3 hours of live. Now I only can do 46 minutes. Holy shit, I'm rusty. But more. I'll be back, y'all. Peace.